Do you anticipate this becoming the best rivalry in the league?
Yeah, there's a good chance.
He's not coming anymore. He is here.
That's ridiculous! It's a Thunder avalanche!
They're not just first in the league. They're way ahead of everybody.
San Antonio, Oklahoma City is not going to be good. It's going to be great.
Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals is tomorrow night. It's OKC in San Antonio. Right now, it's Quentin Richardson and Tim Bontemps back with us on SportsCenter. Tim, it's Victor Wembanyama who said that it's, quote, special to be in this position, 4 wins away from a trip to the NBA Finals. How much pressure is on Wemby in this series?
I mean, there's always pressure when you're in a situation where if you win a series, you're the favorite to win an NBA title. So that's certainly the case for Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. That being said, if there's ever been a team that isn't in a pressure situation in this spot, it is this San Antonio Spurs team because of the remarkable youth that this team has. Victor Wembanyama still only in his 3rd NBA season. Stephon Castle in his 2nd season. Dylan Harper in his 1st season, a rookie, playing great in the playoffs. And talking to people ahead of this highly anticipated series from across the league, the thing that has come up over and over again is the rapid ascension of those 3 guys in particular, and especially those 2 guards. Everybody talks about Victor Wembanyama, and obviously he's one of the most unique players the sport has ever seen. But the rapid development of both Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper into impact players on the perimeter, that is the thing that could turn this Spurs into a potential dynasty going forward. And if they can win this series, they win the title this year with this group in this age range, good luck to anybody trying to beat them anytime soon.
And we talk about that as the Thunder are a young team in their own right as well. QR, Wemby averaged 18 points per game against the Thunder this season. What should the Thunder's game plan be to try and contain Wembanyama if they can in this series?
Man, guys, they got to throw the kitchen sink at him, obviously. I mean, you got to try and put him defensively in every action possible, put him in pick and rolls, make him switch. I mean, not that he can't do these things, but just try and use up as much energy as he can and of his that you can and wear him down. Attack him. They got 2 bigs to throw at him, so they got bodies for fouls, and they got to be physical with him, and they got to try and wear him down because he's been unstoppable all season, and if they let him get comfortable, it won't be good for anybody.
Tim, let's talk about the Thunder. They went 1-4 against San Antonio during the regular season. San Antonio, the only team to win a season series against the champs. How would you characterize the season-long battle between these 2 teams?
Well, I was at the game in the NBA Cup, the 5th of those games that doesn't count in terms of the standings in Las Vegas. And it was impressive to see how big across the board the Spurs were. That gave the Thunder a lot of problems. As you said, San Antonio went 4-1 against Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City only lost 18 regular season games all season. So that was almost 20% of them. And the key thing in those matchups and the 4 losses the Thunder had, they shot 32% from 3. They are a up-and-down team from the perimeter shooting-wise. So are the Spurs. That is going to be the thing to watch, I think, in this series. Who can control the three-point line? Whoever does has a very good chance of winning.
Q, the offense goes through SGA. How are the Spurs going to contain him in this series?
The good thing about the Spurs is like Tim said, that athleticism and height and length at the wings they have several different bodies they can throw at SGA to try and frustrate him and make things tough. But I expect them to take a page out of the Lakers book and J.J. Redick at some point. If he gets to going, you've seen them be able to kind of make him slow down a little bit, throwing the double teams and hitting him with 2 defenders. So I think we could see a little bit of that action to try and keep the SGA from getting into that supernova MVP type mode, because when they deployed the double team, it did slow him down, and his aggression went down because of the double team in the Lakers series.
Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals starts tomorrow. We cannot wait. Tim, QR, much appreciated. Barry Streisky back with you on SportsCenter. Game 7, Cavs-Pistons tonight in Detroit. This is how we got to this point. It was Detroit who took Game 1 of the series, 111-101. Detroit snapping a 12-game losing streak against the Cavs in the playoffs, which was tied for the longest by any team against a single op in the history of the NBA.
Game 2 also went to Detroit, 107-97. Cade Cunningham, 25 points and 10 assists, while Tobias Harris added 21 points and 7 rebounds. It was the Pistons' 5th straight playoff win.
Donovan Mitchell had 35 points and 10 boards, and he stopped the bleeding for the Cavs as they won Game 3 in this series, 116-109. Cleveland ended the game on a 12-5 run. James Harden scored 7 of Cleveland's final 12 points.
Spider was even better in Game 4, 43 points, including 39 in the second half and a 112-103 Cleveland win. Mitchell's 39 second-half points tied for the most in a playoff half in NBA history.
Back in Detroit for Game 5, it looks like the Pistons had it wrapped up, leading by 9 with 3 to go, but Cleveland went on a 9-0 run to force overtime. They eventually won the game. Detroit had as high as a 98% chance to win Game 5.
Detroit by 21 in Game 6. They've now won 4 straight when facing elimination in these playoffs, their longest streak in a single postseason all time. NBA analyst Quentin Richardson and our NBA reporter Tim Bontemps are with us this morning. And Tim, we're gonna start with you. What's at stake for Cade Cunningham and the Pistons tonight in Game 7?
Well, this is a huge opportunity for Cade Cunningham and J.B. Bickerstaff, the coach of the Pistons, to break through and reach the Eastern Conference Finals. As you mentioned, they're going into their 5th game in these playoffs facing elimination. So far, they are obviously 4-0, which is how they've gotten here. For Cade Cunningham, he's had some massive games in these playoffs. He's obviously following up a tremendous season where he's all but certainly going to be top 5 in MVP voting. The winner of that award will be announced later today. And he's also going to be a first-team All-NBA player. But he's had some costly turnovers in this series, including 3 critical ones late in Game 3 that cost Detroit a chance to potentially close the series out very early. So he will want to make up for that. And as for J.B. Bickerstaff, he coached the Cavs for several years before getting fired and then almost immediately taking over the Pistons. You know he would love to win this game tonight, knock out his former team, and reach the conference finals for the first time as a head coach. For both those guys, massive opportunity for a career-changing win tonight in Detroit.
QR, maybe therein lies the answer to this next question. What is the QR code for the 1 seed in the East Pistons to win this Game 7?
Oh, man, fellas, QR code is obviously MVPK. MVPK Cunningham is necessary to lead the charge, and then they need to go out there and they need to force turnovers. They need to lead with their defense. They're at home. They need to play with the home crowd, getting into it early. And then the role players, man, we all know and everybody says that the role players play much better at home, so they need their role players to be great defensively. They need them to add three-point shooting and defense for them, but also – you think about it, the last game, the bench had 48-19. That was a big difference in the Game 6, so they need their bench to come big for them and scoring again tonight.
Okay, so we've talked about the Pistons side of this. Tim, what's at stake for the Cavs this evening?
A whole lot. I mean, there's a ton on the line for Cleveland in this game. They came into this season as co-favorites with the Knicks to make it out of the East, make it back to the finals for the first time ever without LeBron. They can make the conference finals for the first time since 1992 without LeBron James with a win today. And for Donovan Mitchell in particular, there's a ton on the line in this game. This is a guy who's made the playoffs a whole lot in his career. He's never made it out of the second round. These guys have the more talented team, the more experienced team. He and James Harden have both been in the playoffs, obviously plenty. They both had a lot of playoff disappointments. For both of them, this would be massive if they could break through and make the conference finals. And if the Cavs don't, I would expect a lot of changes this offseason. So a huge game for a lot of people in this franchise. We'll see if they can get a win in Detroit tonight.
More seasoned, more talent, like you say there. QR, though, the Cavs, despite that, 4.5-point underdogs in Game 7, of course, on the road. So what's the QR code for Cleveland to pull off an upset?
Not much different from Detroit, fellas. QR code for Cleveland, like you need Donovan Mitchell to be special. You need a dominant performance from him. But not only him, you need James Harden to be efficient. You need him to take care of the ball and keep his turnovers down, because when he's able to do that, they get more possessions and they do better without turning that ball over and getting Detroit into transition. And also, you got to go out there and you got to limit the Detroit bench. I just talked about how the Detroit Pistons had 48-19 in bench scoring last game. Cleveland has to come out and counter that. They have to defend that, and their bench players have to be better, and they need big-time three-point shooting from Strus and others.
3&D is going to get it done. We'll see who advances for a chance to get beaten by the New York Knicks. That is Q Rich and Tim Bontemps. We appreciate you both. Thank you.